fear of loss is a path to the dark side.
May the Force be with you.
And he was a good friend.
Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you.
Before Darth Vader betrayed and murdered your father. Only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi. Learn to know the dark side of the Force, and you will be able to save your wife from certain death.
I don't trust him. With all due respect, Master, is he not the chosen one? Is he not to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force?
So the prophecy says.
A prophecy that misread could have been.
I know there are things about the Force that they're not telling me.
They don't trust you, Anakin. They see your future. They know your power will be too strong to control.
What have you done?
Your father was seduced by the dark side of the Force.
Is it possible to learn this power?
He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader. Not from a Jedi. Twisted by the dark side, young Skywalker had become.
I killed them. Every single one of them.
Who could have done this?
They're like animals. And I slaughtered them like animals.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. Anakin, you're going down a path I can't follow.
The boy you trained, gone he is, consumed by Darth Vader. A powerful Sith you will become. Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader.
You were the chosen one. You said that you would destroy this and not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it young. I know that it's good.
It is too late for me, son.
I feel the good in you, the conflict.
There is no conflict. You were right. You were right about me.
Become the master of the air, the thunder of the seas, or a tank fury in the epic multiplayer action game War Thunder. It's a whole world of military vehicles where every ground, air, or naval vehicle is historically accurate model, created with love and
It's
Just
been
a little something.
yeah. Thank you for that, Shane. It's been one of those few days, right, where you kind of feel your age a little bit, even though he was much older than we are. Geez, I looked at his birthday earlier. James Earl Jones was only 4 months younger than my parents. But good Lord, guys, that voice.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars would not have become what it became without that voice. I mean, I don't know if anybody could really ever even argue that. It's just, and our hobby, our loves, all of that stuff never would be what they are today without that. I mean, Star Wars really is the root of where we're at now. To be perfectly honest with you, we know that Real American Hero never would have been made. If you pay attention to the history, that never would have happened. Star Trek never would have had the resurgence that it did. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing what a voice, what one voice can do to the world, right? I mean,
yeah, and not to mention playing in the Conan movies also. Arnold. What was it? Conan the Destroyer.
Also Doom.
And yes, Doom. So much from our childhood, And,
yeah, Lion King. Holy cow!
King,
Yeah,
the voice of Lion King. Yeah,
my older daughter's generation, the Lion King, definitely. Mufasa.
Yep.
Geez, what and he's one of those few people where everybody universally agrees that never had a bad word to say about the man. I mean, and that right there, that's a pretty big testament to anybody's life, right? When you can say that, man. So, wow.
Sorry about the sound at the beginning. I forgot to hit.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody's offended. Honestly, this StreamYard is great, but it can be very finicky with anything outside of it, if that makes any sense. So that was awesome. Thank you. Briefly, before we, if you guys will allow me, before we get too far in, there were two other passings this week that I really wanted to touch on. And they're not, don't get me wrong, they're not James Earl Jones, but Peter Renaday, who did, I want you to think about this. He did Splinter's voice in the original TMNT cartoon. So we've all heard it, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was 89. I want you to think about this. Voice characters in Disney animated films in the 70s and 80s. The Aristocrats, The Rescuers, and The Black Cauldron. He was in Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo, Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Transformers, The Real Ghostbusters, and Batman the Animated Series. Get this one. He was also known for voicing the animatronic Abraham Lincoln at Walt Disney's World Hall of Presidents. That's pretty that's pretty cool life, right?
Yeah.
He was 89. John Cassaday, who was a comic book artist who did a lot of work for DC and Marvel, was the artist on Planetary, if you guys remember that, which was a big book for quite a while. Did a lot of stuff with Marvel, Captain America stuff, and then was with Joss Whedon when he did the X-Men, and was also the primary artist for Marvel's Star Wars resurgence when they got the license back, publishing license back in 2015, and he was only 52. So, yeah, right. Someone lock up Peter Cullen, right? Someone, because I mean, it's not right. I mean, Kevin Conroy is gone now, and just when you think about the big voices. To our generations, anyways, Peter Cullen is right up there, and as one of the few that's left. So, and he's a man in his 80s. I'd have to look it up, but so that's that. I, for one, don't believe that they can hear us anymore. But I'd still like to offer up a thank you just the same, because thanks for adding to our passions and our hobby and let's face it, our stories, right? So thank you, gentlemen. What a week, right, guys? I mean, what a week. Good, bad, right? Hey, let's start. Shane, our director Shane, sent me the list of what we were going to do. So go ahead and pop those up, Shane, and we'll do those real quick, because we'll get this out of the way. Right? It's just a couple of quick figures. But we can go back to this later if you would like. This one went up for pre-order at the same time as the next figure. This one, I'm not sure sold out as quickly. I know it didn't sell out as quickly, but I'm pretty sure it sold out at this point. This is Earth 2 Robin. Cool figure. Be perfectly honest with you, this is just Todd's way of trying to get people to still buy that Crisis 4-pack that everybody's still in protest mode over, because this is a Crisis figure. So cool, right?
Yeah,
but
it is a nice looking figure.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. Gotta give him that.
Yeah, no doubt. But this one, again, this is my opinion is this is him trying to get those other ones moved with the huge price increase.
Yeah.
But now the next one is going to tick off a few people. If you're a DC guy, here it is. Less than a minute, guys. This Joker figure right here, and this is basically Superpowers Joker, right? Very much so like the Penguin in the last wave before last. In the classic colors. This sucker sold out in under a minute, and that's Amazon, that's Big Bad, that's Entertainment Earth, and that's McFarlane's site itself.
Yes.
This sucker disappeared, and again, this is Wonder Woman all over again, if you want my honest opinion. This is the one that everybody wants. The complaint for 4 years has been we get too many Batman figures, and you finally get the Joker, right? And it sells out in less than a minute. So now I'm good, Corey. I'm glad you did get one. I had to order the 2-pack on McFarlane's site to get mine, and that was a scramble to do that because those were selling out too. So, ridiculous. I don't know what the man's doing, but he's not. He's really not in touch with his customer base at this point in time.
It's looking like a lot of the toy companies aren't right now.
No, and we'll get there in a minute too, right?
Yeah.
So, yep. So, you know what? I don't want to talk about McFarlane anymore. If you were able to get a Joker, I'm very happy for you.
You had to be on there and doing it quick.
Yep. But I was absolutely furious over that.
I think a lot of people are too, getting over the modern stuff right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've well, you know, I don't want to go negative quick, but they've sucked the life right out of it.
Oh yeah,
you just have. I tried to talk you out of doing this first, Shane.
I just wanted to get it out of the way, man.
I know. So now that's enough. That's enough. I mean, if you're able to get them, great. The good news is that Crisis 4-pack with the Monitor Build-A-Figure, that is the protest wave. Let's just call it what it is. It's the protest wave. That sucker keeps going on sale. Sooner or later, he'll end up having to sell it at a loss, and maybe he'll learn a little something. But until then,
well, he won't sell it at a loss. He'll sell it for actual retail eventually. Is what he'll do.
Yeah, eventually, right? And for a Build-A-Figure, you know it. I have to honest, I'm a DC guy. I still want one, but I just can't bring myself to do it just yet. So,
speaking of the Superpowers and Super Friends, just real quick, I found this at Ollie's yesterday. It's a challenge of the Super Friends card game for $3.99.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's got it's for 4 players. Got 4 10 card player decks, 32 objective cards, 10 challenge cards, and a rule book. There's kind of a little picture of some of the cars.
Challenge.
I thought it was,
Super Friends, huh?
but I thought it was kind of neat for $4. I mean, hey, if you're a Super Friends fan, it's neat little game.
Absolutely.
I hadn't taken it out and played it yet or anything, but I just thought it was kind of neat. I like the box, just the box art on it.
It is cool.
Like the old cartoon.
Yeah, from the title sequence of that cartoon. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. I'm looking at the schedule.
Hurry up, Shane. We're running out of time.
Want to get past that?
Come on, hurry up. We're running out of time, Shane. No next speaker. We're running out of time.
Okay, yeah. Our resident BMAC is telling us, hurry up. Thanks, Mom. Quick, let's go.
We don't spend too much time on Zandar. Move on. Come on.
Yeah, right. Let's not do what we're here to do.
Well, you said nothing but because you were talking to us for hurry up so much. For me, this was the best figure of them all.
It is pretty cool.
It's just,
and I was actually shocked at the release date on this, October 1st.
Yeah.
Is that a flub on? Is that another app flub or what?
I think it is because they said during the live stream all these would be the first of the year.
When I checked them the other day,
which we know means December, November. But yeah, to me, this was the best figure of the show.
It is cool
for the Joes because they stuck with the OG style, but then modernized it just enough to make it not the same. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I agree.
And they even mentioned that you could take the flank jacket underneath off to make him even more OG if you wanted to.
Right. He reminds me more of the 25th, but
and the shoulder pads come off also.
Yeah, very cool.
So that's to me that's pretty cool.
Hey,
it
says here on their website, the pre-order item will be available to ship on approximately October the 1st, 2025. That's a whole year away.
See, I knew it said October 1st. I didn't bother looking at the year because I didn't think they were that stupid. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, it does. It's right there.
That app is a disaster at this point, guys. It just
2025.
Wow. I knew it said October 1st. Hey, you know what? For all we know, that's true. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, we'll be talking a little mask here in just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get
that. But yeah, it's to me is we always like talking about the back box art and stuff. Which I didn't myself see any hints of anything else in there. Did you guys?
No,
honestly, no. Easter eggs, like they like to call it.
No, I have to be perfectly honest with you. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I didn't go back this weekend and really look much of anything up because that was discouraging.
What is this right here? Is that some Ghostbuster stuff going on there?
It's like a big old rat trap.
What's that above it? That poster there on the
some kind of poster.
Looks like a Cobra symbol.
Yeah,
it does in a way.
But yeah, for me, that was the best figure.
What's the tattoo?
It's a dreadnought tattoo.
Oh, okay. It looked like a face there from a distance.
It did.
It's a skull. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it looked like a face.
This one's, Is it safe for me to say that?
I like it all except for the heavy armor.
It's very heavy.
I mean, he wasn't like that, but I do understand that this is more modernized. So
sure.
So, whatever.
That's the only one that's sold out on Pulse right now.
It was up a while ago when I looked. I don't know if it is now.
Sold out now. But
these are all general release too, guys. They did say that.
Yeah.
So it's
I do like the fact that the helmet is removable.
Kind of
and
cool.
The saw
is
removable. So that's a plus for that. And all the controversy.
The helmet off. He kind of looks. He's got that whole bank robber thing going on.
Yeah. And they did say that the neck piece was removable and the vest. So
no, these are all tripwire parts, right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
And then on the back, you got a Doc helmet laying there.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I don't see any Easter eggs hiding out in there.
Yeah, because he's the one that killed Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's the issue, 103 Easter egg. Yeah. What's that automobile sitting there all trashed up? Just a cop car or something?
Just looks like a car. You can see the shadow of a few more saw vipers in the background there. Yeah, it's a meh.
It's not terrible. I mean,
Not terrible.
gotta love Leatherneck.
Yeah, gotta love it.
I like it very much. I don't care about the glasses, to be perfectly honest with you, but I like it very much.
The shooter glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really.
He looks like Sergeant Slaughter.
He does, doesn't he? Just smaller. Yeah. Smaller. Yeah, he's quite a bit smaller than Gung Ho, too.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, Gung Ho was always intended to be a really large individual, so it's okay, you know. Not all Marines or any other servicemen are, mountains. So
yeah, I've been seeing where people are complaining about his sleeves being rolled up and his insignia on his arm but not being correct. Man, G.I. Joe was never truly military.
of course not.
They were military-based people,
Right.
but they were never a military service. They were, it's kind of like the A-Team.
Yeah, they were supposed to be from every. Yeah, it's good Lord, it's a fictional premise. Calm down.
Some people just go way too far with this stuff.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but the U.S. Army does not have ninjas in it either.
What? What do you mean?
I've heard the Coast Guard does, but the Army does not. Yeah, football jerseys, exactly, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
For real.
Yep. White ones.
Yeah. But
yeah, I can't wait for this figure. This is my favorite here.
This is a good one. So he's even got his tags on his neck. So, but what is this crash in the background, guys?
The Enterprise, from the looks of it.
I was thinking the Millennium Falcon.
Who is that to the left back there? Is it?
That's Dalton.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to figure out what this is crashed. That was the only thing I saw that might be some type of Easter egg, Not only is it on Leatherneck's packaging, but it's also on Dalton. Which Dalton was the guy I went with on my crew,
Mm-hmm.
We slapped together as a kid.
Yeah, I always liked Dalton.
That's kind of neat. They got they got the little fold down computer thing on the his backpack. That's cool.
Yep, that little electronic eye on the side of the backpack turns.
Yeah, those are
Huh.
Very cool.
You can't confirm.
Right. Be one heck of a surprise, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's top secret. We're not supposed to know about the ninjas.
Right. It's like the knowing is half the battle skit at the end of Resolute, right?
Yeah.
Like, ninja? Oh, I didn't know we had a ninja.
Yeah. Santa Claus is special ops, Corey.
He is. Yeah. He's red ops, not black ops.
You didn't watch the Mel Gibson Santa Claus movie?
That's right.
Yeah. Gotta watch it.
Yeah, I like this one too. I always liked Dalton. Dalton.
It was a great one.
Yep.
Of course, they all but said there's going to be a mass device coming out. That's what's up with all the rain and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that would be a good play set. Because you're not going too big.
Maybe we'll get some tube worms.
Tube worms.
The giant tube worms that, under the ocean.
Baroness and scuba gear.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Because that's a cool 20-foot figure. Scuba Baroness is one of my favorite 25th anniversary figures. It's a nice figure.
Yeah, it
Very
was.
well done.
And then to me, right here, this looks like a tank. The back end of a tank.
Oh,
It
what
looks like the top of a giant probe droid.
it does.
Yeah. We're going back to Disney.
Or look like one of the things in Cloud City, or one of the towers or whatever.
Yeah, it does. It looks like Bespin, right? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be.
That's
Maybe
true.
it's-
Yeah. Did
That's
see
right.
the tube worms. Yeah. And the bicycle.
Yeah. But yeah.
Maybe it's a giant satellite that's falling down.
Oh, maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the mass device.
Possibilities.
They reworked it. That's one of the satellites. And here, of course, is Starduster. And I had to tell you, the guys on the postcard
Check
were
out that
so
box of
busy
cereal.
goofing off. Yeah, goofing off about this box of cereal that.
Just so everyone knows, there is no actual cereal inside the box.
Sure.
Oh,
There's one piece of Captain Crunch.
And also, there is a crossword puzzle on the back that you got to have
cool.
tiny, really pencil to do. So
That's right.
And you do have to assemble it when you get it. So just so everyone knows.
Did this sell out? Did it?
No,
not yet. No.
I didn't think so. I don't think it's going to either.
I don't either.
This one's a real stretch. I don't know. It's cool to get the backpack, but we already got it with the Steel Brigades.
Exactly.
I did like the cereal when it come out. It was good cereal.
I don't know if I ever had it, honestly.
They were called G.I. Joe Stars. I don't know how
Right.
they put that. I guess copyright, and they must not be able to use the actual name.
And Duke was on the box, wasn't he?
I can't remember. It's been so long. I think
Maybe with a couple different boxes.
I think so. I think there were a couple of different Joes, but there was little mini comics that I think come in them with Starduster mini comics, because I think I've still got 3 of them.
Now, you guys are going to have to help me. What is getting ahead if you want, but what is the deal with Starduster? Because apparently he came along after I was out of Joe's, because I don't get this character. I hate to say it. I don't get the cereal box reference. Besides, I was a comic guy. I wasn't a cartoon guy, really. So what is the deal with him?
Well, like I said, on the cereal, you got the little Starduster comics, like the little comics, sort of like it comes with the He-Man figures.
Yeah,
it's like 3 or 4 pages long.
Yeah,
and I think he might have been featured on one of the boxes. I want to say the first mail-in, because he was a mail-in figure, and I think it might have been through the cereal. I can't remember.
I believe it was.
But I know later on you could get him. First, he come with a jetpack. Then later on, you could get him with a little. You remember the little pouch you could put on your belt that would hold 3 figures.
Yes.
A little hard. Then he come with that later on.
Oh, huh. Excuse me. I never, and apparently it really truly does. He just revolves around the cereal, because I never understood.
I think that's all it ever was.
Yeah.
Got some
I
fangs
don't
on
ever, being a cartoon guy, I don't ever remember seeing him in the cartoon.
No, and I didn't know if it was that post-movie cartoon that I've never really watched, or he certainly was in the comic.
He was kind of around 87, around the time the movie come out, when he was offered. But
I couldn't tell you about the Dick version of him, because I did not watch hardly any of those, because I was senior in high school when all them started coming around. So
this is just a strange choice for, I don't know, for all of the figures that we still don't have. This one was kind of a really strange choice, but
well, he is still classic and iconic amongst the
yeah
people, you know. So
he must be. I mean, he really must be, because
I'm figuring that's why they went with it. But of course, we see our fangs and fang pilots in the background there, which we know we're getting sometime next year.
Yeah, right. So, do you want to go there, or you want to talk about some figures that we've got now? Or
I thought I had the renders. Hang on, let me check and see.
Check. Yeah, let's look at the renders. If you got them.
Not gotten them. No, obviously I did not get them. I'm pulling the BMAC.
I don't know. I thought that whole thing was very disappointing. It was rushed for what we've been told is one of the 3 lines that's actually making them money. I don't think
Yes.
they didn't even mention the Rattler. They didn't say, "Hey, thanks, fans, for making it possible." We got 2. We didn't even get 2 reveals. We got a hint. Here's a hint. Here's a hint. The mass device, and then they showed the 2 digital reveals later, which don't have anything to do with the mass device. It was a botched job. I just don't. I don't know, man.
It was.
It was not good. And now apparently we're going to have to sit around and wait for a 10/27 event to get more information. And hopefully they don't rush it because, good Lord, it's like John said, it's their thing. What are they in a big hurry for? You're there to sell toys. Show us toys.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
It was kind of dumb.
Just by the way, Starduster was first offered as a mail-in with a serial in 1985, and then later on as regular mail-ins. So, because I remembered eating the cereal while watching the cartoon, so I knew the cereal come out before '87, but I didn't get him when I got him. When I got him in the mail-in, it was later on, like '88, I think it was, because he had the pack. But yeah, apparently the first offering was with a cereal, so that's the whole deal with the cereal box. But I do remember the little comics because, like I said, I've got like 2 or 3 of them laying around somewhere if I can find them. Maybe I can find them for next week. But
Cool. We can talk about Alf later. I don't know who's doing it, but 91 V3 Duke. Didn't know there was more than V2, but the 91, the V4 Snake Eyes. I think you might eventually see a V3, and I think you will see V5. I'm not sure you will ever see V4. That's just my opinion. I don't know. And I tell you what, Corey, I would have, that BMAC can stay in the office somewhere. I wouldn't care if I never saw him again. I would be perfectly happy to have Emily back because she never tried to be their mom and screw the whole thing all up. So anyways, pigs in space.
oh yeah, over here. Yeah, that's Nancy's Muppets. She's got the pigs in space.
Pigs in space.
And
she's taking over my shelves.
Here's your renders.
Here's your render. Heavy duty.
I love it.
Quite a piece of kit that you got going on there. That's for sure.
Is. I love it.
Pretty cool. The missiles, green missiles.
Yeah.
Green missiles. Oh, well, right.
Yeah. Green missile. But I mean, it's pretty cool. You got all kinds of guns on there. Or pew-pews, better say that. I just don't get the whole necklace thing.
Oh, I didn't even notice it.
You got a big old Brahma bull necklace up there.
Big Brahma bulls. Uh-huh. Is that some kind of nod to The Rock or something?
Yes.
That's heavy duty, I guess. A bull is definitely heavy duty.
Yeah, when they're full grown, definitely. Definitely.
I like it. I don't know what's up with these little square triangle looking things on his pants. That's kind of weird to me.
The knives are different. Those are a new sculpt. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're kind of tiny for a heavy duty.
Well, they're definitely fighting knives, so that's kind of cool. They'll hook on his figures.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool, though. But this was the best.
It's different, isn't it? I like this very much.
This was the best renderer that they didn't show.
He's got his good boy face.
Yeah. And you got the snarling face. I love it.
Yeah, very cool.
I
Very
like
cool.
how he's got a night vision for the dog
Yeah.
and not for Law.
No, it's pretty cool. Well, keeps him from getting flashed with a flashbang. So,
Yeah.
very cool. I'm
Cool.
very happy with both of those figures, actually.
The hands with this guy, they got a ton of them. It's pretty awesome.
So you do the signals? Is that what?
Yeah, hand signals for the
Hand
dog,
signals
right?
for the dog, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Here we go. And the bull, because he's from Chicago.
Is that what it is?
I forgot
Okay.
that he was
That
from
would be
Chicago.
an interesting
Yeah.
reference, wouldn't it?
Thanks,
That would be an
thanks for that,
interesting
Mason.
What is the thing up in the top left? Is that something to go in the dog's head?
Yeah, it's night vision for the dog.
Oh, really?
That's what it is. Put shielding for the dog's face.
Yep.
For
It's got a flashlight.
quarter. Very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm happy with this one.
The vest, I mean, look at the vest. It's highly detailed.
Yeah.
I mean, you got great. I wonder if the handcuffs are foldable. Somewhere. You got the loop, which to me should have been on Mutton Junkyard too.
I always liked this character. I always liked the figure, but I have to tell you, as a character choice, he was always kind of ridiculous. What in the world would the G.I. Joe team need with an MP? I mean, these guys were the best of the best. It's not like they're misbehaving on shore leave or anything, you know.
Well, you never know. They might get a little tipsy while eating some Roblox hot Cajun food.
I always figured it's more for just for base security or something, you know.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, to keep Falcon from sneaking his girlfriends into the.
Yeah.
He kind of missed that whole Pythona thing, but and Storm Shadow half a dozen times.
I'm curious if the flashlight comes out.
I don't know. Maybe.
But I do think it's a great render.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
Hopefully we'll get to see something better.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And too bad they won't be out, according to that, until 2026, right? Some stupid thing.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. I tell you, that app is an absolute disaster. That app is a disaster.
It is.
It really is. It really is. Geez, I see that comment. I see that comment from Mason that Lenny did say something. That was he had a V4 Snake Eyes on his desk, and that's what everybody was saying. Oh, we're getting a V4 Snake Eyes. I remember watching that. I watched that interview. He didn't say they were working on one. Not that I remember, anyways. But I got to tell you, I can't imagine that Snake Eyes selling the blue and the orange and the whole Ninja Force neon stuff. I just don't see in classified.
Does the dog's armor come off? I would assume it would.
I'm sure that vest is
just like
Junkyards does.
Just like Junkyard does.
Yeah. I'm sure it does.
Yeah, Junkyard is removable.
Little warm water and pop off some limbs. It probably comes right up.
The version 4, you said that's the one with the blue where he's got like the goggle thing.
He's got the ski goggles on. Yeah, he's blue and orange.
And that's what when they done the 12-inch Hall of Fame figures, that was the version that they did for Snake Eyes.
That one. Yep. Yeah, the V3 with the 3 sectional staff and the big Chinese butterfly knives on his chest, and then V5 where he went back to black and he had the really small silver lenses. I can see him making that one, but V4, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you can bet we'll get all the Snake Eyes before it's over with, because they're heavy on Snake Eyes.
Well, we already got Butter Pecan Snake Eyes, and that one was never made before. So
never.
You never know.
Actually, that's kind of one of my favorite ones out of the Snake Eyes.
It's a nice looking figure, isn't it? Actually,
that one and the one with the green pants that come with the second timber that come out with timber. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
Adam, I cannot stand the Ninja Force stuff.
But you know what? We got a nunchuck, so
that was it. That was the best figure out of the whole thing.
Yeah, it is true too.
Didn't they mention Bushido too? Or, wasn't he coming? Wasn't he a name?
No, that hasn't been revealed.
I haven't heard.
Is it not?
No.
Okay.
Be cool if it was, but no.
I could see them doing him with that big head armor and
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's the Deke or Dick or whatever you want to call it. That cartoon, the post movie cartoon. That's what Snake Eyes look like in that cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there is a group of collectors out there that's who he was.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I tried watching some of the Dick episodes a couple of months ago, and I had to have been a kid to try to watch them because I can't watch them now. They were just terrible.
Rick gave me a link quite a year or so ago to YouTube so that I could go see how Cobra Commander got back from snake form and all this other stuff, because with that was in that first mini series. And Emmett was watching the one where what was it, Slice and Dice, they were looking for the greatest ninja in the world, and they were going to fight Storm Shadow, and Storm Shadow says, no, you have to fight Snake Eyes because he's the greatest ninja in the world.
Yeah,
it's just like, this is really horrible. This is bad.
I love when they went to the nightclub. The Joes walked on into the nightclub, and Cobra Commander tried to get in. They wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, you may be right, Mason. I just don't. I watched the interview, but geez, I can't. Good Lord, I can't.
I remember all the pictures that were popping up all over the place, and it was definitely a V4. It was a
V4 Snake Eyes. Yeah,
it was definitely that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
geez, I can't imagine. I hope they don't go neon on us. I mean, that would be.
Well, they're going to eventually, and I feel like they will be working some of that Ninja Force stuff in and around, especially since now we have Roe Pig and Scarlet, and I mean, there'll be different paint apps on them, and you got them right where they were at.
Yeah,
I mean, but yeah, they're gonna work them in. Any Doctor Who collectors here? I'm not.
Mm-mm.
Who?
Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Which one? Nope.
I went to Doctor Wu one time.
Dr. Wu?
Oh, better be quiet.
Yeah, we put up slam the brakes on that one. Hey, let's talk about this. These showed up this week.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Dave. This is your part.
Off the list.
Steel Corps Commander. What do you want to do? Once a man first?
Oh, it don't matter. No, go ahead.
No, once man. Once man. Once man. Do you open yours yet? Pretty cool. Yes. I still have John's. I'm sorry. It's right here, John. Still sealed in the box. Here it is.
Oh, okay.
Cool. It is cool. It's well done.
Yeah, really well done.
It's cool. Just remember, these things stay in the box when you take them out. People threw a bunch of these away
and are pissed
apparently. So it's very cool. It's very cool.
I was once a man. On the back.
But I also am aware that these suckers are a sore spot because a lot of guys didn't get them, and
they did.
That stinks.
And I've heard a lot of people talking about how they will not buy anything else.
Well, yeah, I mean,
along with that line.
It's cool.
Hey, that's me. I ain't buying another figure until the next new one comes out.
It is
in October 2025.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is pretty cool. There's actually 3 different pictures in this thing.
Yep.
You get him full on Snake, and you get him partial Cobra Commander, and then more without the hood on. It's pretty cool.
Does the half or the kind of like little snake accessory thing, will that actually wrap around Roadblock?
Yes.
If you warm him up, yeah, no doubt.
That's what I was wondering. That would be cool because I would definitely display a roadblock with him wrapped around him.
Yeah, Emmett had this one open. Once Shane swung by the other day and picked his up. Emmett's like, "Can I open this now?" I said, "Go ahead."
It is nice.
I understand it would have cost some more. I mean, it would have cost more because they'd had to actually done a new leg sculpt. But it would have been cool if one of the legs had been the leg tore off and the foot, exposed like on the cartoon.
I agree.
It works better up and down.
I will tell you, out of the package, his chest is really big. I mean, he's really heavy chested, but it looks cool. The mask, the busted mask, the face shield with all the electronics on the backside of it is pretty cool too.
Oh wow,
that's pretty cool. This one, it showed up. What was it for? Literally just a few minutes. It showed up for order again. Just before they pulled it from the Pulse site. Because apparently there was a small number of other guys that were able to get one. It was unannounced. It just happened. Same way I got these, it just happened. And
and
just pick a fight, Corey.
Very thankful to Dave for picking it up for me because I had no chance of getting it at all. None.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could do it. I did everything that I could.
The time I got on there, everything was gone.
And the ones I was able to get were a fluke. I'm sorry, but they were. They just were. And
I'm
glad it worked out. That's all I can say.
Just a mess because they just kept popping up and going down and popping up. And
the worst ones were when they popped up, but they weren't really there.
Exactly.
And I have to tell you, the shipping on these was horrible because you never got a heads up. Hey, we're going to bill you. They took the money 2 weeks ago, and then it sat there forever. And then they put the money back, and then turned right around and took the money. Never let me know. And I was getting texts from FedEx telling me there was a package coming. Just an absolute mess. Absolute disaster.
6 a.m. and they weren't even supposed to be up till 11. So I mean, it was a mess.
Right. The day it was right. I was able to get one on that 7 a.m. fluke is what I was calling it. But almost immediately after I got mine ordered, they closed that loophole real quick. I think that was like some kind of test on the app. And then they were stuck having to fulfill the orders. So, and then at 10, I was able to, and then I hit one last one as a fluke that afternoon. So, but we went through this with the ferrets too. I mean, I had a 3-day weekend of pushing pre-order every time one popped up. And over 3 days, I managed to get 2. That was it.
Yeah, we've said it before. The whole pre-order is so stupid. It's dumb. I mean, just leave them up for a week and never how many you sell. Make them. That's what a pre-order is supposed to be. Not this, you got 10,000 and when they're gone, they're gone. I mean, that's just crap.
Pre-order is the wrong word, right?
Exactly.
It's just the wrong word because that's not what's happening here.
I mean, the way they're doing it, they might as well just wait, and then when they go in stock, then put them in the store and sell them till they sell them.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it.
And a limit of 5, come on, man. That was dumb anyway.
Yeah.
Pre-order just means, hey, let me get your money now so I can put it in the bank and draw interest on it until I ship your product.
I still do feel they will come back up at one time. But I felt the same way with the ferrets also. And like, I'm glad Corey got a ferret he can play with. I did not. But if I find one, I will for a reasonable price. But I'm not paying eBay prices.
I ended up, getting ready for the show. I read there was a lot of Hasbro news that came out this week with quarterly earnings reports, this big meeting they had in Europe, blah, blah, blah.
Why can they not do the pre-orders like this one right here?
Because they are on an absolute tear. They're saying now that inventory levels are down 80% from what they have been in the past. So they are just slashing production, just absolutely crashing it. And so when we say, I think things are going to come back, I'm not convinced anymore. I think they're making what they make, and that's it. And they're gone to the McFarland School of Marketing, where I believe in a healthy secondary market, and there you go. That's that.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many of you guys got in on any of the giveaways?
I didn't.
There was a ton of stuff being put up. So
they're still up and running, aren't they?
I think it ended today at some point in time, sometime on the 15th. All that stuff was supposed to be given away tomorrow. So, but that Zoom, I don't even want to talk about that Zoom meeting. So that was an absolute
altogether.
You know what show. So if you can forget that. Hey, let's do this and then we can do something else. Field Brigade Officer, Twilight Guard. Real generic stuff, honestly. You guys see him all right? Cool figure and all, but weird thing is, holster here, no pistol for it. No, seriously. He's got a pistol. He's got a holster on his hip for this gold slided 92 or whatever it is. But there's a holster on his back that there is no other pistol unless you want to take the pistol away from the Twilight Guard, which would leave his holster empty. So the winner here is the Twilight Guard. It's a nice figure, but I have to tell you, I was excited for these because they look so cool with the purple and the black. There's nowhere near as much purple on this figure as there was. So, I mean, is it still cool? Yeah. Is it what I thought it was going to be? No. But it's okay.
It's just a Crimson Guard repaint, right?
It is, with the half cape and the sword and stuff.
So it's basically an Iron Grenadier.
Yep.
Crimson Guard.
Right. The loadout is pretty good. You know, bunch of stuff. Some more blast effects. Cool figure. It'll look good. You know, one each standing next to Mr. CC. They're good for that. It's a cool looking figure. Like I said, this officer is really, really kind of generic. I want to talk to you guys about this because I've got this thing in my head. We went through this with packaging, right? Packaging. Yes, they did, Corey. Packaging. We went windowless, right? Because that was right, the environmentally friendly thing to do, all this ESG stuff and blah, 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 right? We all remember it, right? All of a sudden, we've got plastic back in our packages, but I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I guarantee you that you have. The plastic on these figures that are coming with plastic cards, this is very different plastic.
Mm-hmm.
These guys here, you put these pegs in these holes, it's like the plastic stretches, right? And then it shrinks back up and they literally pop right back off. You see what I'm saying? The plastic is flexible, but then it's got memory, and it's like, then it seizes back up when it cools off or whatever, and it pops the stands right off. Guns. Keeping rifles and pistols in their hands is very difficult because you have to mangle their hands to get them in there in the first place. Then they don't want to stay because it's not good. I will warn you on these backpacks and the swords are doing the same thing. You put them in the holes and they pop right back off because the plastic is literally closing back up on the pegs and pushing them off. I really wonder if Hasbro didn't make some kind of compromise with the packaging plastic versus the plastic that's now being put into these figures, because this is not the same plastic as even just 2 waves ago.
I wish they would use magnets to hold the backpacks on their backs to those pegs, because some of them just don't fit in them holes real good.
No, they don't.
It'd been nice if it had a little magnet in the backpack, a little magnet in the back of the figure where it just stuck right on there.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's going to cost us $10 more.
Well, yeah, right. There is something different about the plastic in the figures, and it does seem to somehow correlate with the return of the plastic packaging. I would almost bet this is some kind of weird offset.
Yeah.
That
That's
has
right.
but anyways, so be aware of that. You might want to
Mhm.
start putting a little dab of something. Yeah.
See there?
Yeah.
It's got a magnet in it, in his head and his hat.
Yeah.
Goes right on.
Yep.
And it stays. You can tilt
You
it
better put
forward.
Nancy's toys down.
You can tilt it. Well, you can't tilt it too far back, but
Yep.
He loses missiles and hats.
yep.
That was kind of it. I don't know if I really even want to talk about that stupid cartoon that was on that Pulse thing. That was not good, guys.
No, I didn't like it at all.
Not because of the quality of it, because of the message. That was not good.
Yeah, we already have enough problems, and you're going to pop something like that off.
Yeah, that was I understand they weren't talking to children; they were talking to adults. But you know,
still.
that wasn't good.
Most of us adults are children already, anyway.
Yeah, or still, or whatever. So, anyways,
still. All right, everybody wants to talk about this, so let's go ahead and talk about it.
What are we going to talk about now? There it is. Loyal Subjects, which has been making a whole bunch of turtle stuff. Picked up a bunch of licensing from Hasbro, which Hasbro let the Power Rangers go to Playmates, correct, guys?
Right.
Yeah, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
And now they are basically leasing out a ton of, IP, intellectual properties, as they say. My Buddy, Gem, My Pet Monster, Popples. I don't know what Popples is. Rom the Space Knight. And they oft requested Mask.
Yes.
So are these going to be decent figures? I can tell you. Give me the camera for just a second, Shane. I'll show you. These Turtles figures right here are the extent of my experience with Loyal Subjects. They're pretty good. I mean, honestly, some of the joints are a little wonky, not because of what they are, because of the sculpting. You know what I'm saying? Muscles don't line up, but I don't think that's going to be an issue with something like Mask. As far as vehicles go, we have no idea. This was a press release that just came out the other day.
They did say when they announced and the thing that they would be doing Mask, it would be the original scale.
Right.
It's not going to be no 3 3/4, 5 inch, or 6 inch, anything like that. It will be the original scale Mask, which I like that.
What that entails, who knows? I mean, I could almost bet you at this point in time, you're at least a year out before seeing any of this. Oddly enough, and I don't understand how this fits in anywhere, because to tell you the truth, I was not really paying that much attention. During the Zoom meeting for Pulse members before PulseCon started, they had a ROM prototype. It was a 6-inch figure. It had some silver parts. The rest of it was red translucent because, again, it was a prototype. But how that fits in with Loyal Subjects having the license and Hasbro showing off, or they weren't really to be fair, they weren't showing off. He was just putzing with a prototype. I don't know. But that was definitely a 6-inch figure. It wasn't. Rom was a 12-inch figure originally, wasn't he, John? 8 or 12 or something like that, wasn't it?
I don't ever remember a ROM action figure back in the 80s, 70s.
It was
or 80s.
big. Oh yeah, it was a big, huge thing, if I remember right.
But the rumor was that they were doing a ROM for the Marvel Legends, so that's probably.
It had 2 red lights for eyes, but I swear it was Ideal that made the original ROM. Yeah, sucking down my coffee, but this is interesting.
The Popples were like a fold-in stuffed animal that folded into a ball.
Those things.
Out. You remember
Yeah.
them? That's what they were geared toward the girls, the younger girls. So
I remember them now. Yeah, they folded themselves up into a ball, and then you turn them inside out, and they were a little doll thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. And if everybody knows, Jim was in the same universe as G.I. Joe.
Yes, she was truly outrageous.
Right.
Which means a completely different thing in the world we live in now. So, might be Jim, not Jim. I don't know.
Jim,
No. So yeah, it is interesting.
I don't remember ever seeing a ROM toy myself, neither.
Oh yeah, look it up. I remember it.
Oh,
You guys are aging me too, so that's.
Oh, I remember the comics, but I just don't.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's one.
Oh yeah. Great big sucker.
1979.
See, I'm old. I get it. He was like 12. He was like 10, 8
He
or
was
10 or 12.
13-inch.
13-inch. Had 2 red eyes. He was the creepiest stupid thing.
And then they had it looked like a robot too.
Well, there was, if I remember right, this was the big thing with ROM. There was a bad guy featured on the back of the card too that never got produced, and there were people claiming that they actually had the prototypes and they were trying to get thousands of dollars out of them or something. Oh yeah, that's ROM. It's very.
You can actually get one now on eBay for $299.
Parker Brothers, the game company.
Yes, Parker Brothers.
Yep. That's why I was thinking ideal. Parker Brothers. Now that you guys make me feel very, very old, because I remember.
Corey was 0.
I know you were 0 in 1979. Yeah, you weren't. You still had a few years of hanging around with the old man before you were a thing. So, as my dad used to say. So yeah, nope. I remember it well. I do remember it. There weren't a lot of them around.
Yeah. I did not remember that. I don't remember.
See, what is this pig pile? I wasn't even born in 70. Yes, I'm fully aware. Most of you pups were not.
I wasn't either. I wasn't born in 79 either. So
no. Fine, I'll be the old man.
I was minus 4 years old myself too.
Jeez, Louise. There's got to be a couple of other old farts on here somewhere. Jeez.
John.
So, anyways, my memories are better than yours. This was an interesting little Toy News International. This was from a press release based on their meeting that they had in Europe, where Hasbro got some big award for licensing or something, blah blah blah. But anyways, I don't know about you guys, but anytime you see companies or whatever start messing with the language, right? They start using words differently or everything. That's always a telltale sign that something has changed. It's marketing, right? They're trying to sell you on something. This Plus Premier Collaboration Brands, Star Wars and Marvel. That's interesting. That signals there's some kind of change going on here with these licensing agreements, right?
Yes.
Because and again, this was at a conference in Europe where they received some award, literally an award for licensing. Now we're going to talk about collaboration brands. It makes me want. You guys are going to call me crazy, but I'm telling you right now, it makes me wonder if I'll say it. It makes me wonder if this isn't like preliminary or fishing trip things that Disney may be in the market for buying a toy company. Collaboration is quite a bit different word than licensing. Licensing agreements and a collaboration are two totally different things. Makes me wonder. Makes me wonder if all of these actions and movements and everything else that Hasbro has taken in the last 18 months specifically aren't that classic, let's make our bottom line look better so our stock price goes up so that we can sell.
Or are they going to do a collaboration with other toy companies on those two brands? There's so much in that word collaboration. You know what I mean?
And that's, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Every stinking time any kind of big entity is messed with the language, that always means something's about to change or has already changed, and they're just easing us into the idea of it. You see what I'm saying? They can't.
They
can't. Those are legal contracts. They have a date. They have a lifespan, and that's it.
Yep.
That's it. So McFarlane, he's got UFC figures out now. He is signing every stinking licensing contract he can get his hands on at this point in time. And that makes me wonder too, if we're not looking at another big buyout here where Disney, specifically in this instance, Disney doesn't just get bigger.
Right.
It doesn't matter who owns the property. Licensing is licensing. They literally lease out the licenses and the names and everything else, and they can't just retract those contracts unless Hasbro were to do something. Let's say Hasbro says character X is now a 3-headed Angorian monster who eats small children. If they harm the brand, the original owner of that IP can go, no, you violated the contract. You violated our, they used to call them purity clauses, right? What was it? Character clauses, right? You can't do any damage to the property. But unless Hasbro violates that kind of contract, there's nothing they can do. This is what the big fight has been with Marvel and Sony over Spider-Man movie rights. And who was it, John, that had the Hulk rights and still does technically? Universal, right? This has been the fight for decades because they're not hurting the brand. They can just sit on it and do nothing with it if that's what they choose to do. That's the thing right there. This collaboration thing, that doesn't fit real well with that rumor. And I've said my suspicion is McFarlane isn't losing DC; he's letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he wants it anymore. That's why he's sucking up every other license he can get his hands on. Yes, thank you. Universal heads the Hulk. Still does, I think, or had, or whatever. X-Men up until Disney bought Fox Studios. This is the same story. They couldn't use any of it.
Exactly.
So
Deadpool,
right. Toys are the same thing. Unless they're damaging the character, there's nothing they can do until the contract expires. And some of those are 20, 25-year contracts. So
I don't think Hasbro had any doing with the shows, did they? I think that was still all on the Japanese companies. I think they just had the toy rights.
Just the toy license, yeah. Yeah, they don't
have.
They
had nothing to do with new shows coming out or nothing. I think Power Rangers just kind of played its course, because of the lack of shows. We've said it with G.I. Joe. If something new don't come out with G.I. Joe, then eventually it's going to do like it's done every time before and just quit being made.
Here's the thing. I think this is just most of those Japanese shows that the Power Rangers were based on were actually based on the Godzilla movies, right?
Pretty much.
The suit fights and the blah, blah, blah. If you look at the cycle that Godzilla has gone through, it needed to be revamped. It needed to be redone. And now we're in legendary territory where we've got the MonsterVerse and it's all CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Even the new +1 is not CGI. It is not suit. It's CGI for the most part. Here's the thing with Power Rangers. Power Rangers it didn't evolve. It's not based on Godzilla. It's the same format. It's the same genre. It doesn't have anything to do with Godzilla. It's the same idea. They were cool in the 60s and the 70s. You could make cool stories and do all kinds of stuff with the suit tech and like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't evolve. It just didn't. It's the same thing. And the audience, I think audiences just kind of outgrew it, sadly.
Somebody was telling me about the Power Rangers show that all the fight scenes were the original Japanese fight scenes. That the only new footage that they shot was them out of costume with the American counterparts. They would just take the fight scenes from the Japanese shows and dub English over them.
I'd heard the same thing. Yeah, I'd heard the same thing. I don't know. I don't even know what generation. What generation Power Rangers is on now? I mean, I don't even know.
It's me.
I don't know. I know that this is one of those hard ones where Power Rangers was such a huge hit with so many kids for so long. It's hard to, well, we'll all come to it sooner or later. I don't care what licenses it is. They all come to an end.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you though, it's almost like Pokemon just ran Power Rangers over in a lot of ways, and it kind of split that audience, not even down the middle. Pokemon definitely took a lion's share, and I think that's a factor too.
And also now you get all the anime stuff coming from Japan is factor in the Power Ranger stuff losing interest also, I believe.
Yeah.
A lot of people that were Power Ranger fans are now getting into that Naruto and stuff like that.
Naruto and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of competition there for them.
I can't say for sure, but it does seem like an awful lot of Power Rangers fans did graduate into anime because I mean, at this point in time, anime and manga in the comic land is sucking up almost over 80%. Last I heard, over 80%. Mike would tell me for sure.
Oh yeah,
over 80% of the comics market is manga.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that Power Rangers didn't have an audience; it did, but I think they kind of graduated into manga and anime. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of the anime stuff myself, neither, or the manga. So I do like One Piece.
I don't know. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and I always have because that's a childhood thing for me. But there wasn't any translation to Power Rangers for me, or it was I like Godzilla. I couldn't care less about the rest of that stuff. My second daughter loved Power Rangers.
My kid
me absolutely batty. To be honest with you, I wish she'd just sit and watch Godzilla movies. But
my son and my cousin, they're close to the same age, and they love Power Rangers.
Yeah. But that's my second daughter, and she's creeping up on her mid-30s now. So you know what? Mm-hmm. It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks since that whole thing started. So I don't know. I do know that Hasbro, in whatever wisdom it has, decided that they were going to lease out that license, and that's exactly what they did. And Playmates is in a bad enough way so that they wanted to take a crack at it. That's what happened. So, and now we see it again with an entire list of other things, other properties that Hasbro has decided to farm out. So,
well, Mike, you gotta look at it. All that has died. Used to, we all look forward to coming home to those afternoon cartoons and Saturday morning cartoons. Can't even find that now.
No, kids come home to video games.
Exactly.
To their phones.
It is a great point though that Mike's making. That
it is.
Power Rangers was driven by after school TV.
It was.
I mean, if there were no, let's face it, if Power Rangers even attempted to come out today without afternoon kids TV, would make it a week. It's just the SEC regulation was way back. I mean, way back.
Yeah.
Way back. That, you know, in '82, G.I. Joe was under that stuff. And it had started, I think it was around 1980 they started it.
Yeah.
So, but it was a factor, this whole notion of you can't, you know, this 30-minute toy commercial crap that the government cooked up. But it's okay to advertise anything else, you know. Burger King commercials at 11 o'clock at night, and we sit here and wonder why everybody's fat, but we worry about toy commercials during the same cartoon, right? It's just
Dave now want a Whopper.
Right. See, everybody's running to Sonic at 11 o'clock at night and sucking down 2,600 calories. And then why am I fat? It's like,
You got to quit talking like that, Dave. Now I got to have a slushie.
See?
Drive 15 minutes away.
Yep. So
here, Mikey is talking about a crunchy roll. Now I got to go get some sushi. You guys are going to kill me.
Crunchy roll, yeah. There's a lot. I mean, Netflix has a lot of anime. It's just crazy. But that, you know, that's a generational thing. It doesn't bother me any. I just never could. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm feeling attacked. Don't worry. Everybody was just calling me too. Suck it up, Buttercup. Everybody was just reminding me of how old I am. You'll be
remember,
all right.
Taco Bell stays open late.
You'll be just fine. It does come in cycles. That is the truth. It does come in cycles. There are certain things that have real staying power.
If I'm a Whopper, you're a triple Whopper.
Right.
How's that?
But I will tell you this: the things that we have taken for granted as having staying power are, to be perfectly honest with you, fading fast. And for me, that's the traditional superhero, right? Superhero comics are dying quickly at this point. And, you know, let's face it, at over 80 years old as a genre, they've had a really great run, but they are starting to run to the end of their cycle too. So, you know, all things change. IDW just posted another quarterly loss of just shy of $1 million a quarter in the second quarter. So kind of gives you.
Go ahead and place my order, Corey.
Kind of. But yeah. I wasn't making fun of anybody's weight. I was just saying you got to admit marketing is a funny thing. Because, like I said, you can't show G.I. Joe toy commercials during G.I. Joe cartoons. Right. I can show you all the He-Man commercials I want to, but I can't show you and vice versa. But like I said, they'll advertise food at 8 o'clock at night, so everybody runs out. And what's more unhealthy? Come on.
Toys are more unhealthy.
Yeah, right. So, anyways, that's my rant for the week, or for the next few minutes.
So if any of y'all got to watch the Hasbro live stream, they done some fan things at the beginning of it where you got to pick what faction you wanted to use, whether it be G.I. Joe or the Dreadnoks. Dreadnoks won out. And then they had to where you could pick to where you wanted a scene of the mountains or a city. The city won out, and this is what we got. I want to go over it real quick so everyone can see it. It's actually a pretty good diorama.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I believe they called it the zombie takeover.
Yeah, zombies was one of the things they got voted on too, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah. And those are all mole rat figures, as you can see. And to me, they're really cool. I like them.
Where's the monkey?
Where is that illegitimate monkey?
I think Warthog.
Naugahide's not in this.
Yeah, he is. He's in the very back.
I got so much glare on this screen. Oh, he is in the back.
Right. Let me see if I can get right there.
Yeah.
He's about to cut one's head off.
There you go. That monkey is probably over having.
He's probably in one of them zombies' bellies is where he needs to be.
Probably that dog ate him.
There's your dog. There's Road Pig's dog. And I did notice an alley viper laying there on the ground.
Yeah, Xandar's kind of taking a dirt nap there too, ain't he?
Yeah, he's been whacked.
Did he get nipped on, or is he going to be okay?
I think he's going to get it. I think he's going to start walking again here in a minute. I mean, it is a pretty good diorama. Oh, I found the monkey.
Where is it?
He's right here. Oh, wrong picture.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, I did not mean that, guys.
No, we're not going there. We're not doing that.
He's right here.
We can't. Oh, there it is. Yep, that one-eyed, illegitimate.
Right where the cursor is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really nice looking diorama. I mean, look at that crushing of the face with the Road Pig's hammer.
Well, Photoshop's a cool thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Shinkin Red 83. Yes, you would probably. There is no doubt in my mind. You are the resident Super Sentai Power Rangers expert.
Yeah.
And thank you for the discussion because
exactly, we love it.
That's what we're here for. So, the fact of the matter is, none of us work for any of these companies, so most of it's speculation and guessing. So, but that's fun. So, works out good. Except for Corey. Corey does, in fact, secretly work with his fiancee Emily for Hasbro. So,
and he loves it when she puts her feet on the couch.
Yep, that was his idea. So anyway,
with no socks on. With no socks on, so he can see them toes.
I know John desperately wants to talk about Marvel, but we're out of time.
Sorry, John.
These bring back a lot of memories. I love the Secret Wars figures back in the day. I'm surprised they didn't go with the regular red and blue Spider-Man to start off with.
I remember Secret Wars running parallel to Superpowers in the 80s. I always thought they were cool. I remember the most thing I remember about Superpowers was that cover of that issue where the Hulk is holding up the mountain and everybody else is laying there.
Oh yeah,
and he's just keeping the entire Marvel universe from getting crushed. I like the look of these figures, and I'm not a Marvel guy, but I really like the look of these figures.
Yeah, the packaging is great too, because I remember them when I was a kid. You know.
Yeah.
Which I think, we got a back shot.
And they even got the shields with the little hologram thing, or what do you call them?
They're pictures.
Yeah, where you move on. Looks like I think it's just pictures on these. The original had it where you could tilt it like on the once a man package.
Lenticular.
Lenticular, there you go, yeah. And but still, so I thought this was pretty cool.
You get lockets with your Marvel figure. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
I do like how you can change it out to the Secret Wars 40.
Yeah. I do like
40 years. It's hard to believe it's been 40 years since Secret War.
Yeah.
Isn't that scary, huh?
It's crazy.
Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
I love it the way they actually show the other figures in the wave on the back of the packaging.
Yeah.
They kind of got away from that these days. You don't see that as much anymore.
I know I'm going to end up having to buy that Wolverine figure because Emmett saw it. I tried to keep him away from the TV, but he saw it. I got to just make sure he's done enough chores of some kind to be able to spend his money, not mine.
It's going to be hard to get these and not want to keep them on the package.
That's true.
Yeah, but I don't know. I did get this. I did order the Spider-Man. I went ahead and pre-ordered it off Pulse, and
that's cool. When do these come out? 2029?
Probably so.
For the 50th anniversary, you're going to get your 40th anniversary Secret Wars figures.
I think it said November, maybe. Let me see.
Of 2025. Did these all sell out?
No, January the 1st.
Oh, wow.
So got a little time on them.
Did any of these sell out?
I think, well, the Titania, see, that was one I was really wanting to finish off the Secret War set. She was sold out, but I think she's back up on there now. And earlier when I looked, there was the Spider-Man was sold out, but I think he's back up now. So now it's showing Wolverine and Captain America is being sold out, and the others still being in stock. So
see, my app is still glitching bad. I removed it the other day, and it's still all messed up.
But yeah, a lot of people were wanting Titania to kind of finish it because she is the last character from the. Well, I didn't really count the Beyonder because he didn't really. The Beyonder is actually from Secret Wars 2. That the figure is. I think I can't. Did he appear at the? He might have appeared at the end of the series, or I can't remember if he appeared at the end or it was just his voice. I can't remember. It's been so long since I read it, but. Of course, a lot of She-Hulk fans wanted Titania because she's like She-Hulk, one of She-Hulk's main villains.
Oh, okay, yep.
And so obviously they wanted Titania for She-Hulk.
That makes sense, right?
And of course, they done the square silver shield for the bad guys, and just like they did back in the day.
Oh yeah, look at that. It is different, isn't it? I do like the look of them, though. I think, and I have to tell you, their presentation was excellent.
It was.
It looks like they want a little exploding world there, or whatever he has.
Who's this cat?
That's the Beyonder. Yeah,
that's a Star Wars piece. What Star Wars figure came with a piece like that? Oh, one of the battle droids, didn't it? Where's Phil?
I may have.
Phil would remember. I swear there was a super battle droid came with that piece right there. There, how's that?
That's pretty cool. And there's the Wolverine. He kind of beefy there, ain't he?
Pretty thick.
Yeah. I know because I know they're modernized. It still would have been cool if they'd had the snapped on claws to go with it, just for fun. Yeah. If they'd added them in there. Because you remember the old one, he had the claws just snapped onto his wrist.
I do remember that.
But that's cool. I like,
So according to, not to interrupt, but just according to the Pulse website, not the app, but the website, Cap is low stock, Iron Man's still up, and the rest of them are sold out.
Yeah. See, on the app, it's showing Cap sold out. Cap and Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine sold out on the website too, but they're showing low numbers on Cap. So
when I click on Spider-Man, he shows sold out, but just looking at the list, he's not, and so is Titania. So I don't know, it's correct. Well, all of you, Beyonder sold out. Huh. That's weird. So it looks like Iron Man's the only one still in stock.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, huh?
Huh, that is weird. Did we? Oh, I guess these are out of order, aren't they? That was the cartoon version of Spider-Man and the Vulture, which the VHS packaging like they do with the X-Men, which is kind of cool. I don't collect these. I don't really do the cartoon ones unless it's a character they hadn't made in the the comic version, and the comic version looks close. But I like this one because it had where you could pull his mask off and him hold it. Like he's holding it, and it's not, you see there between his hands.
Got a cloth mask, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like it's folded up,
right.
His head, and it's weird they give him two different heads, which is kind of like the one on the right I think is supposed to be Ben Reilly, and the one on the left is supposed to be Peter Parker. I think. I don't know if that's
what they say. Flash? Didn't they say something about Flash?
Or it could have been Flash Thompson. Well, maybe that's who that other one's supposed to be.
Didn't they say that, Shane? Somebody have to help me. I could have sworn that's what they said.
Well, that'd be cool. I know in the comic, Flash was gonna. He dressed up as Spider-Man. He was gonna scare Peter Parker because obviously he didn't know Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and that was the issue, like issue 4 or 5, one of the early issues where Dr. Doom mistook Flash for Spider-Man because he was dressed up like him. So I wonder if that's kind of where that come from.
Yes, thank you guys for that, because I could have sworn they had said Flash, and I don't know anything about the storyline at all, but I could have sworn they had said Flash Thompson that's what that other head was.
I didn't watch none of the stuff from Friday, so I don't know. I was just guessing that was what that head was.
Right.
But that makes sense. I mean, I understand where they would come up with Flash. Because, like I said, I know he did, and I think he may have done it in a cartoon too. I don't know. I watched the cartoon, but I didn't see all of them. He dressed. I think I do remember that episode. You're right, where he dressed up like Spider-Man for a party.
Yeah. Yeah, costume party.
Yeah.
See, I remember Spider-Man from the Electric Company. Yes, I know I'm old.
Oh yeah. That was my introduction to Spider-Man, was the Electric Company.
Yeah, that and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. That Vulture looks pretty cool. Like I said, I'm not really that big into the cartoon versions, but I still thought he was kind of cool.
He's a Raptor ripoff.
No. Which one you got next, Darshane?
Okay. Captain America.
Oh yeah, Cap with a busted shield. That was kind of.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's all classic Cap with the Buccaneer boots or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Buccaneer boots, right? Yeah, pirate boots.
Yeah.
The swashbucklers.
Iron Man, and what I love about Iron Man, number one, he comes with the same gun the original figure come with, that little black gun with a double barrel on it there, and he comes with the roller skates, because in the comic book he did have skates on the bottom of his shoes in some issues.
Yeah, that's so weird.
It is weird. That is weird. I can fly, but I got roller skates too.
See?
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, you can tell they're comic book fans doing this, because they're going back to some old stuff here and pulling it out, and applying it to these figures. And I think that's just, I mean, it's nice to know that they got people there that actually care enough to go back and dig up stuff like this.
Right. And let's face it, are actually paying attention to their customer base, because that's the stuff their customer base actually remembers.
Yeah. Of course, this is one that a lot of people's been wanting, because they done a Dragon Man when Hasbro first got the license, and they done two Fantastic Four waves, and one of them had the Dragon Man in it. Didn't have a Build-A-Figure piece, so I think he was like an offshoot. It was a bigger figure, and the thing sells for like $200 or $300. The last time I looked, it did, because they didn't produce very many of them. And this one is bigger. It's more in scale with the figures, like in the comic, because he was at least twice the height of the characters. So you can see they got Mr. Fantastic next to him, and that's
a big figure.
That's probably pretty well in scale with his comic counterpart. And that's a cool figure.
That thing's going to be 16 inches across.
Yeah.
I did hear them say that the tail was not jointed, but it was bendy.
Oh, okay.
And that the toes are articulated.
Really?
Okay.
I did hear them say that.
I love this figure. The only thing I don't like about it is the price point. It's $84. $84.99.
$84.99. Huge, man.
Yeah. Big.
He is huge. He is huge, but I was hoping he would be more around the $70 price range, maybe. But or like the $69.99.
Look at the glasses. I mean, come on now. You gotta love that. And the books.
Folded wings. That's not a bad bargain, John. No, I mean that's a big figure.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, but I was still kind of hoping it would have been about 70.
Well, yeah, close, right? Yeah.
That's two sets of wings, I do believe.
It is, yeah.
It is.
I mean, that's really, really not bad.
Yeah.
It's not really.
You think about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It reminds me of Triceratops.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's the King. I think we talked about it earlier on, but it went up for order now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't already have a King, I would probably jump on this, but I can live without the chair, because there's so many other things like the Dragon Man and the Lockjaw Crystal 2-pack that I want to get, that this is low on my priority list. But I do like the little face plates where you can change his face, and I do like the cheer, so I don't know. Maybe they'll go in their outlet deal for half price or something later on, and I might jump on it then. But it's not something I've got to have since I've already got a King, and the one I got I'm happy with. So, but it's still cool. It's a cool figure nonetheless.
Remember, if you pass on Dragon Man, it's not coming back.
They did say that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the name of the game, guys. Now they're making it, and that's it.
But they are doing it the right way, made to order.
Yeah,
they're running their pre-order for so long, and that's what they're making. That's how every stinking pre-order should be done. We've been saying that for 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, I agree.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Marketing is terrible.
Especially, and I will say that, especially with like Joe figures, because let's face it, other than the faces, it's just a mash and mangle of parts.
Exactly.
They could put them together very quickly. So, when does it ship, or did they give you any indication on when it would be available?
You're talking about the Dragon Man or the?
Yeah.
It's got August the 15th at the very bottom of the pre-order.
So it's not all that dissimilar from a HasLab, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's an interesting experiment on their part. I really wish we could do that with Joe vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah, well, let's forget about this HasLab nonsense and start making tools.
Yeah.
I was actually very, very impressed with the Marvel display at PulseCon, and Star Wars did a fantastic job too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was whatever. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons went on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and then they had to do Magic the Gathering, which was entirely too long. So,
but it was interesting though, because they did a whole history of everything, and talking about how they were doing this. It was interesting. I mean, really it was. I've never been a D&D guy, but I was like, I was listening to it. I wasn't watching it. I was listening to it, but it was very interesting.
If they had just done that same thing for Classified, it'd been nice.
Exactly.
Well,
they literally crapped the bed with the G.I. Joe line.
Guys, they just did, and I have to tell you, I really wonder. It felt, and I'm not. This isn't Diaper Island. It's the end of the line. I'm just saying, it was pretty discouraging because it didn't seem like Hasbro's heart was in the line at all, because they couldn't be bothered with it. We've been told for months. We've been told for over a year that G.I. Joe Classified was one of the 3 toy lines that have actually been making them money. And that's what they got. It's like, that wasn't good.
Yeah, Diaper Island. We love it.
Diaper Island.
Dirty Diaper Island.
Dirty Diaper Island, yeah.
Jumpy. Anyways, I don't know, man. I was kind of discouraged by that.
I did notice something after we talked about the collaboration Star Wars stuff.
Yep.
It got me to thinking about their reveals. A lot of their stuff was classic remakes and classic reveals. So, I mean, that could be an indication that they are moving on from that and letting someone else deal with it, maybe. Because you got classic Luke, classic Leia,
I don't know.
And they did not only done it in Black Series, but the Retro Series is also.
Hasbro's had a funny relationship with the Star Wars characters, because it's almost they got to be so cyclical. It's almost like, oh geez, it's been 6 years since we've done a Luke and Leia, so now we have to pick up. We got to get that new customer base, right?
I agree with you, Mike. I agree.
It is bad. There's bad.
Boy, those acolytes, whatever it was.
That show, the Acolyte,
peg warming big time.
Oh, yeah. I think that's almost a protest thing too, because people hated that show so badly. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think a whole lot of things are going on behind the scenes.
What do you think about the Darth Revan movie that they're working on?
I love Darth Revan.
Do you think that's gonna?
If they
I
stick
don't
with
think
the
they can help
storyline,
themselves.
if they stick with the original storyline of Darth Revan, it will be fantastic. But if they stray away from it and try to start throwing some of this political and other stuff in on it, it will be terrible.
Look, as a Christian, I understand wholly the idea of being evangelical, right? And that's exactly what this reminds me of. This is religious fervor. Most of this political, what we call political stuff with Disney specifically, is like a religious fervor. They are on a mission and they cannot help themselves. So unless you saw a massive shift in leadership at Disney, and then in turn directors, writers, no, it's going to be more of the same. They're just these people have proven over and over and over and over again they are on a mission. They are not there to make money.
I did read an article a couple of weeks ago where George Lucas did say he was not ashamed, but he was disgusted that he let go so much power of Star Wars.
Yeah, he regrets it now.
Yeah.
That's why
he definitely wished he would have hung on to more of it.
Here's the thing. I don't care, and I've said this before and I'll say it again in a general sense. I don't care what side of the political issue you're on when it comes to this stuff. It shouldn't be in entertainment to the extent that it is. Look, it's all people's political beliefs of writers and whatever have always leaked in, right? This is insane.
Let's get in there.
This is like watching religious programming most of the time. Let's face it. You've got to be honest about this. And it's not entertainment anymore. It's indoctrination. And no one is interested. That's it. Right?
Yep. That's it. Tell stories, not telling people your personal politics. That's exactly it.
That's it.
We hear enough of it in everyday news and everything else. When I watch a movie or something, I just want to be entertained.
It's supposed to be escapism.
You know, the critics bashed the Twisters movie because it didn't come out about the global warming, about the climate control or whatever.
What was causing the Twisters?
Yeah. And you know what? The ones that made the movie said, "Hey, we just wanted to make something that was fun to watch. We wasn't interested in putting that stuff in there." And they wanted to make something just fun for people to watch. It don't have to have an agenda. It don't have to have anything. Just make something fun for people to watch. That's entertainment. That's what we want.
They said this, and I haven't seen it yet, but they said the same thing about that Fall Guy movie that came out earlier this summer. They said that is just a purely fun movie. It has absolutely nothing in it. And they trashed it, and it bombed because people still listen to these idiots about what they should and shouldn't go watch. But they hated it because it wasn't preaching at you about something.
I think we're going to start seeing a shift as these movie studios keep losing money. They're going to either start paying attention or they're going to go out of business.
Well, they're going to go out of business unless the shareholders go, enough is enough, and stop firing the leadership. Yeah. That's the only thing that'll change it. Yeah. But look at what Disney did. Disney had a hard time, so what did they do? They turned right around and went right back to the same old pool and hired the guy that they had last time. And what did he do? More of the same. Gee, I wonder how that happened. So that's like I said, I haven't seen it, but they have said up and down that was just a great, generic, entertaining movie. Had absolutely.
I watched Fall Guy, and it was a great movie.
So there you go.
It was entertaining. You had no BS in it. It was just a really good movie. I would recommend that for everyone to watch.
But at the same time, let's face it. At the same time, they were busy telling us that Civil War didn't pick a side, and it wasn't anywhere near as political as you think. I got to tell you, that piece of garbage was as political as it gets, and it wasn't even remotely quiet about it, if you ask me. So they were too busy pushing one and buried the other. So
I actually watched that Civil War this weekend too, and
what a waste of 2 hours that was.
It was
absolutely disgraceful.
I could have went out and cleaned some horse stalls while watching that.
Yeah, so that's just the way it is.
Because it was not good.
Anyways, what do we got? 8:48.
Well, it wasn't about Lee Majors though. This was a whole different thing.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I think he done it was a really well done movie.
Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
You need to watch
I
it.
hadn't got to watch it yet neither. I wanted to see it just to
It
see
is a
it.
good one.
I mean, and believe me, I was a big Fall Guy fan, and I knew
me
it wasn't
too.
going to be. They changed stuff, but I've been surprised by a lot of the movies that a lot of the old TV shows they turned into movies. The Addams Family, I love both of the Addams Family.
Yeah, they were hilarious.
I mean, you think John Ashton's only Gomez, but what's his name? He done a pretty good job as Gomez. The whole cast done a good job. Even Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester. I never would have pictured him as being Uncle Fester, but I thought he done a good job at it, And the Beverly Hills Hillbillies movie with Jim Varney, I thought he done a great job. I mean, you have some that really missed the mark, but you have some that's actually pretty good and it's entertaining, and it's they'll never replace the originals, obviously, but what happened? Did we freeze up?
No.
I think Dave did. Okay, no,
I was doing something. But I mean, both of those Addams Family's movies, those were 30-something years ago now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's hard to believe.
That's hard to believe, but I was sending Shane a text because I wanted to double check something with him real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, these are the same conversations everybody seems to keep having. So, it's one of those things where I sit around and think, geez, if I won the Powerball and hit for like $1 billion or something, I'd go to Warner Brothers and I'd buy the publishing rights to DC Comics. I tell you what,
for real, I
would. That'd be awesome. Probably no one would read them, but I'd have them.
If for fun and entertaining, people would read them. I mean, that's what got us hooked on comics back in the day. They were fun to read.
Fun. Looking at that box of cards that you had earlier from that Challenge of the Super Friends, man. That's the style guide, the DC style guide. That's how the characters were supposed to look, and they protected them. Yeah. And that was those valuable properties that needed to be respected and held up, Yeah. And that was just awesome stuff.
Sure was.
8:51. So we got a few minutes here. So it's looking very much so like I am going to end up having to take some time off from show duties here, or not show duties, but the privilege of actually getting to do this show. What that's going to look like, I have no idea. As far as time goes, it's just one of those things that pops up in this particular life where I get a little banged up and I got to go have some things taken care of, and then I'm not actually in podcast material, so to speak, for however long that lasts. So, with that said, I don't know what that is. Anyways.
We're gonna have to pre-record a bunch of shows ahead of time.
Well,
we can't do it. We can't do it without you. We got to have somebody to keep us positive. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that leads me into the next thing. We're gonna have to have somebody else fill in here that's actually going to be positive. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. So we used to do.
Us out, Adriana.
Yeah. The format, the reason that this show is 2 hours every week is because there was 4 of us, right? And we each did a half an hour segment, and it worked out relatively well for quite a while until life happens and blah, 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 right? So we don't really necessarily stick to that, but the time is still the same. So if you have if you have any interest, if you can speak at least twice as well as I do, because we desperately need that too. If you're at least twice as smart as I am, because we desperately need that.
The main recommendation is going to be Sam McFarland.
If you can't say McFarland,
There you go.
or things like smart, they don't want you here anyways, because so consider that. You're going to have to get in touch with Shane, because Shane is the producer.
Just send me a message on Facebook, and we'll talk about it.
You cannot possibly be as positive as I am, Corey. That's all bull. But so keep that in mind, gentlemen. If you can, get in touch with Shane. And
the way I've been thinking we'll probably do it is we'll get people that want to come on, and we'll every other week we'll have a different person.
Yeah.
Just to help fill in until Dave's well.
Yeah.
Because he will be back, or I'm going to his house. I know where he lives.
Well, the good thing is this is going to give me and Emmett an opportunity to sit down and create a lot of content that we just haven't had time to do. Because some of the stuff that we've done in the past is incredibly time consuming, right? So we hopefully it gives us an opportunity to get creative, do some of the stuff that I had planned on doing. So that's that. So again, if you're interested, excuse me, I didn't mean to do that, but if you're interested, get in touch with Shane. And would we present a topic? Yeah, I mean, here's how this works. Us three guys, we discuss things off and on during the week, and ideas pop up, ideas, pop down, things get resolved, other things. So we always have a general idea of what we're going to do before we get here. You're kind of responsible for your own space, right? Does that make any sense? We're really not doing full on segments anymore, but you still bring some content, right? If there's something specific that you want to talk about, or news, or a line, because we all have our favorite lines. John is definitely Marvel. I'm heavy into the DC stuff. Shane does a lot of the Mythic Legions, and we all kind of congeal around G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got a line you want to talk about, there's nothing wrong with that.
Thanks for joining us, Chad. Have a good one, buddy.
Yeah, you too, bud. So yeah, we do movies, we do pop culture, we do comics, we do movies, we do toys. We even talk about video games when it's related. No, I'm sorry, you can't actually do that. That's the one. No, that's the one we don't allow here. But I'm just kidding. You didn't let me finish. I was getting there. You can't do that. It's actually a lot of fun. It's nowhere near as hard as you think it is. You're gonna have to. This StreamYard doesn't take up a thing on your computer. Be mindful. You got to have a decent camera, and you got to have a decent microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys, when we get there, we're not there just yet, but probably within a week or two, they'll walk you through these sound checks and everything else to make sure you ain't got a bunch of feedback and everything else. Right. I will tell you this right now. The likelihood of you pulling this off with a phone is just about zero. It just doesn't work good. So
a laptop, computer, iPad,
tablet,
that'd probably be the best.
Yeah. If you can stabilize your phone and use headphones, you could probably use it. But you know what I mean by that. If you can stabilize your phone on a good bipod and use headset and headphones, you could probably get away with it. But that's up to you. 8:57. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we see ya?
That's pretty much it for the week.
Boy, what a week, huh?
It was good. It was a meh. I'll say meh.
You know what? It was a good week. I had a very good week looking forward to 11 a.m. on Friday. And then it went to crap. at 11:01. So yeah, that was kind of the way that went. But man, I tell you what, if you were a Star Wars or a Marvel guy, it was a pretty good day.
Oh yeah, yeah. Get up with me,
Pretty
man.
good day.
Just shoot me a message on Facebook.
Yep. So
we'll work something out.
It's probably time to hit the music and say night for the week, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it, Mason. It's just part of my life. It's all good. I'm not going to die or anything. Like I said, I get in a mess here and there, and I got to go get fixed, and then I pop back up like a bad penny. Pretty much so it. Sometimes I'm a little taller than I was before. Sometimes I'm a little shorter than I was before.
But he's never more bald.
No, I outgrew my hair a long time ago.